Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to the Tennis World with the Tennis Expert. I am your tennis expert. This is the US Open Preview 2023. I want to welcome my subscribers, my new viewers all around the world, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Tennis World with the Tennis Expert, and we've got the US Open Preview coming up. As soon as I finish with my preview, I'm going to review what happened in Cincinnati, the final between Djokovic and Alcaraz. But since I've titled this US Open preview, let's get into the preview of the US Open 2023, guys. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get started right here. Let's look at Alcaraz part of the draw. He's got Kofa of Germany. He'll just overpower him there in straight sets. Second round, Harris or Pella. Pella, he'll just overpower. Harris, he'll get too many returns, force him into rallies and move him around, expose his lack of movement. Straight sets regardless. Dan Evans, he's going to overpower him with the forehand straight sets. Then he'll be into the fourth round. That's when things usually get a bit tougher. But let's see who's playing. Cameron Norrie, again a guy without much power, 16th seed. I mean, he beat him in Rio de Janeiro, but I believe there was an injury there for Alcaraz. You just again, it'll be two rally guys, but one rally guy, Alcaraz, more power, more shots, drop shots. He's just going to overpower him and dominate these rallies. So it'll be rallies, but Alcaraz will be controlling all the rallies with his power. Then he's going to move through to the quarterfinals where he's going to play Sinner or Zverev. It's 50-50, so I don't know who he'll play. So I'll just quickly say in both cases. If it's Zverev, it's probably going to be like 4 sets because Zverev is playing quite well. He has the power to use his big serve, attack, his rushing kind of a game, and not let Alcaraz get into rallies and rushing on the forehand. He will get a set, but Alcaraz gets too many returns in play, gets him into too many rallies, and he uses his power to move Zverev around and expose his poor, sort of slow defense. But then when Zverev is in control, he doesn't have that big shot to finish points. Alcaraz is too fast. He's going to struggle to finish points. But whenever Alcaraz gets a hit in the rallies, Zverev's slow. He's got all the power to finish the shots. But I just think he gets Zverev into too many rallies, gets too many returns in play, and then he's able to move Zverev around enough in these rallies and overpower him. And also, the fact that when he's getting him into these long rallies, Zverev doesn't have the defense to hang out, whereas his defense offense has power on the forehand and backhand. Zverev sometimes doesn't have the power on the forehand to finish. And yeah, he's just going to get too many returns, getting into too many rallies, and moving around too many times, and he's got the power to finish. So 4 sets there, but Zverev can rush him and use the power game to get 1 set. If it's Sinner, yes, Sinner has this serve as good or better than Alcaraz and the consistent power like Alcaraz. But then sometimes can boss Alcaraz around, rush him on the forehand, get control of the point, but he has enough patience to wait until he gets through Alcaraz's defense to finish points. So that can be a bit tough. But when it comes, they both got a goodish serve. They've both got power and consistent power on the rally shot. But when it comes down to it, Alcaraz has more because he has the amazing speed and defense, plus the amazing offense like Sinner has, and more consistency and less errors. So whenever he gets on top of the point and moves Sinner around, Sinner can't really hang with that. He can't play defense, and Alcaraz has power to finish the point, going for a defender that doesn't quite have great defense. Whereas when Sinner's in control, yes, he has power to finish points, but he's got to always go for a tough defender who's running everything down, and he's always got to get it perfect. Whereas when Alcaraz is in control, he's got the power to finish, and Sinner isn't a great defender. And also, Alcaraz is usually more consistent, less errors. And then even Sinner's big serve, Alcaraz's return has improved so much. He'll force him into too many rallies, and then in the rallies they match each other power, but Alcaraz has more defense, so when Alcaraz gets ahead, he wins. But when Sinner gets ahead, he's still got to get past the speed of Alcaraz. So I just think the fact that Alcaraz has defense and offense, and Sinner mostly has offense, and also if they're close and it gets down to big moments, Alcaraz is great under pressure. Sinner can crack. But I'm going to say, and Alcaraz with the return gets enough balls in play, forces Sinner in rallies, and then when he gets ahead in the rally, Sinner's too slow, he can finish. But when Sinner gets ahead, Alcaraz's got the defense to make it hard for him. By the fact that he's got defense and offense, Sinner mostly has offense, and then Alcaraz better under pressure if it's close. I'm going to say 4 close sets, but Alcaraz wins that. So now let's move through to the semi-finals for Alcaraz. Because the whole thing is about Alcaraz Djokovic, we're just going to look at their draw. Yeah, I know he's going to play Medvedev. So what I'm just going to say about that is we've seen them play twice this year, Wimbledon, Indian Wells, a very slow hardcourt Indian Wells grass. Let me just say quickly Medvedev, who he's going to play on route. He'll play Echeverry. He'll win that, just to confirm. Anyway, Murray maybe, but yeah, maybe I'm not reading his draw properly. But anyway, we're just gonna. I can't really see anyone that great, so I'm just gonna put him in the. I'm just gonna put him in the semi-finals with Alcaraz. The thing is, Alcaraz matches him off the defense. They're both very fast, and you need power to get through a great defender on a slow hard court like the U.S. Open, right? Both of them have, right, great defense and a slow court. So you need power to get through this slow court and a fast defender. Alcaraz has that power, Medvedev doesn't, because Alcaraz has way more power on the rally shots. They're both playing consistent rally shots, but Alcaraz has more power, so he's controlling all the points. And Medvedev, because he doesn't have as much power, is constantly just being overpowered and bossed around and pushed around. Alcaraz is standing in the middle, playing with power and controlling all the points, and Medvedev, without having enough power, he's just overpowered, moved around, bossed around, overpowered. Do you get what I'm saying? And then the other thing, he has the power to get through Medvedev's defense on a slow court. Medvedev doesn't have the power to get through a slow court, and Alcaraz's speed and defense. Medvedev doesn't have that one big shot to finish points. Alcaraz does. But then because Alcaraz has got more power on his rally shot than Medvedev, he's controlling all the rallies and moving Medvedev around, and Medvedev's running. Also, Alcaraz, if he can't finish the point with his more powerful shot, at least his power game will get control of the rallies and move Medvedev around, and usually have enough power to get through Medvedev. But if he doesn't, he can come into the net and expose Medvedev's court position being too far back, and he'd drop volleys and just move him around, overpower him, control the rallies by having more power on his rally shot, and then when he needs to finish off the rally, just come into the net, expose the fact that Medvedev's standing far back, and finish the point with a drop volley. It's a bad matchup for Medvedev because they're both playing rally shots. Alcaraz is getting more power, and Alcaraz is controlling all the rallies. Alcaraz is hitting rally shots with more power than Medvedev, which means he's controlling all the rallies. And then Medvedev's defense is the one thing to get through. Alcaraz has the power to finish points and get through that. And then even when he doesn't, he can come into the net once he's used his power to control the rally and move Medvedev around. Most of the time, he still finishes the point with the power, but when he can't finish it, his power has at least got control of the rally and move Medvedev around, and he can come into the net and finish and make the most of the fact that Medvedev's standing back and Alcaraz has got good volleys. So he's got the power to control the rallies, the power to finish the points, and when he can't finish, he's got the net play to hit volleys and expose Medvedev standing too far back. So he's won his last 2 in straight sets. It could be 3 or 4 sets. Maybe Medvedev's worked out a few things to improve to be a bit better. Most he gets a set, but I'll say 3 or 4 sets. Alcaraz in the final. So guys, So guys, let me just go through Djokovic as part of the draw. Now I've got Alcaraz in the final. So Djokovic is going to play Mueller. He'll win that. Too much consistency, defense, moving him around. Zapata or Quinn, yeah, same straight sets. The Serbian Ziger, who just control the rallies, having moved around. The guy will be too nervous, make errors. Trying to get past Djokovic's defense will go for too much power and make errors. So then we've got Djokovic into the fourth round against maybe Aliassime, but I don't know if he'll make it. They will say he does, but Aliassime's just not been good enough. Maybe if he gets hot, he can overpower Djokovic with a set. But Djokovic is going to get too many returns in play, move him around, out-rally him. When Aliassime tries to attack, he's got the defense. Aliassime goes for too much power, makes errors when he doesn't. Djokovic just gets him in the long rallies, moves him around, and out-rallies him, exposes lack of movement. So I'm going to say straight sets because Aliassime, but if Aliassime gets on fire, 4. But for now, I'm going to say straight sets for Djokovic. So then we're going to move forward to the semi-finals, quarterfinals. Sorry, Tsitsipas or Fritz. I'm going to say I don't know who will make it out of those two, but regardless, he owns both of these two guys. His return is great. He gets their big serves back. If they depend so much, Djokovic got a great return. And by him having a great return, he takes their strength away a serve, gets the ball back in play, he forces them in long rallies, moves them around, out rallies them, and then gets the break like that. Then on Djokovic's serve, the best case, if it's a second serve, it's a 50-50 rally. Djokovic out rallies them, right? And most of the time, Djokovic gets his first serve and he gets a short ball, and it's a rally where Djokovic starts ahead and moves the big guys around and exposes their lack of movement and out rallies them. And then sometimes just 3 points off the serve. But best case 50-50 rally, which they can't beat Djokovic in. Most of them rallies, Djokovic is starting ahead using the serve to start the point ahead. And whether it's Fritz or Tsitsipas, yeah, and then on their serve, like I said, he's getting the serve back, sometimes deep, so we usually get 3 points off the serve, or serve plus forehand to finish it off. But Djokovic gets the returns deep, forces them to 50-50 rally, and these rally moves them around, out rallies them, exposes their lack of movement, right? But if they don't want to be pushed around by Djokovic and they've got more power, they go for too much power, too close to the line to try to get past Djokovic's defense. And by having to hit the ball so hard close to the line to get it past Djokovic, they make errors. And Djokovic beats them with the errors. But then when they go for less power and attack less, then they just get into long rallies where Djokovic bosses them around and out rallies them. So either way, then they're losing by making errors or by being long rallies of Djokovic moving them around, right? So straight sets, regardless of it's Fritz or Tsitsipas, which I can't decide. And then in the semi-finals, I mean, it's either Ruud or Rune. And I'm going to say Rune because I just think like he's got too much power, too much talent, has a great defense and consistency like Ruud does, right? Great defense and consistency like Ruud does, right? And speed, both Ruud and Rune. But on the offensive side, they both got power on the forehand. But Rune has the power on the backhand. Rune has a bit better serve, a bit better volleys, just a bit more talent. So I just think they can match each other in a lot of ways. But overall, Rune has the power on forehand, backhand, and net play, whereas Rune just has speed and the forehand. Rune has speed, forehand, backhand, power, net play. Just overall more talent, more ability to hit winners and finish points. But there's a mental side, and he's younger, but he beat Djokovic twice. And I just feel like Ruud is too consistent, too average, whereas Ruud has a lot of flair, like great shots, net play, forehand, backhand, can hit winners from anywhere on the court. And I just think he's going to overpower Ruud in these rallies, and he's going to win this, maybe 4 or 5 sets, but it'll be close. So then I've got Rune, against, because like I said, Rune has the defense that Ruud has the forehand or maybe better, but then has also a great backhand and net play and just ability to hit winners from anywhere. And I just think he'll overpower Ruud. So Rune gets through to Djokovic in the semi-finals. He's beat him twice, could do it again, but for now I'm just going to say because he's not shown form lately, and Djokovic has just been right up there with Alcaraz in all these tournaments. He's a clear top 2. So I don't think Rune can beat him because Rune's just not playing well enough, and Djokovic is clearly at the top level with Alcaraz dominating the game, and Rune is far from that. He's been inconsistent. So just because he's beat Djokovic a couple of times, I'll give him a set. But Djokovic is just going to move him around, out-rally him, return great, force him into rallies, play great defense, and test Rune that he's going to have to consistently come up with powerful shots to get through Djokovic's defense and overpower him. But I think he's not at that level to do that. He can't do it for 5 sets. 1 set maybe he gets hot, but then Djokovic just outs-rally him, gets back too many serves deep, too many long rallies, not enough mistakes. Every time Djokovic asks him 3 or 4 shots to get past Djokovic's defense, 1 set he gets hot, but 3 sets to 1, Djokovic is consistent in that great level. Rune is not good enough to play at that high level to beat Djokovic, and to try to be aggressive and overpower him and get past Djokovic's defense has to go for too much power near the line and makes errors, and his level's not at that elite level. Like, he's not been playing well. So the level Djokovic has asked you to play, I just don't believe he'll do it, and you get too many errors, and Djokovic will get too many serves back, play too much defense, make no errors, force Rune to play this high level, and Rune tries to go for it and makes too many errors. But 1 set, his powerful shots land in, gets winners by 3 sets to 1 Djokovic. So now we're left with the Novak Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz, US Open final. I'm going to say Alcaraz in 4 sets in this final, right? Because what I just really believe is, right, like these 2 guys at Cincinnati, which I'll go over in a minute, like everything had to be on Djokovic's favor to get that win, right? Like just think about this. Firstly, Djokovic lost in Wimbledon, so he was upset about that. He was waiting for the moment that he's going to come out and get revenge. Has all this energy, like I won't lose no matter what. Number 1. Number 2, in every match in Cincinnati, he won in straight sets. Alcaraz won in 3 sets. So his form was at a high level. Alcaraz was a bit off. And then number 3, he had the perfect court speed. The fast hard courts like the Australian Open top 8, that's Djokovic's best court. So he had that. So I'm really pumped up after he beat me at Wimbledon. I can't wait to play you again. I want revenge. I get to do it on my ideal court, and I'm playing at a high level, winning every match in straight sets. My opponent Alcaraz is off. He's going to a 3rd set and struggling. So Djokovic is better form, ideal court. He's the one who wants it most, the revenge. And then even at the end of the match when Alcaraz was up 6-5, he got a hand cramp. So even that favored Djokovic. It's not very common that many things will come in favor Djokovic, right? When they meet at the US Open final, like it's a slow, hard court. The places that Djokovic excels is Wimbledon, Australian Open, top 8, fast hard courts, grass. The last 2 matches, fast hard courts, Cincinnati and grass. Alcaraz has matched Djokovic on his best courts, fast hard court and grass, right? Now he gets a chance to take Djokovic down on a court where he's not been that successful, slow hard court. And the issues for Djokovic in this matchup will be on this slower court is Djokovic doesn't have the power to get through the slow court and for a fast defender like Alcaraz to finish points. He'd struggled to get through to Medvedev in 2021. Alcaraz is maybe even faster. she's going to struggle to get power through the slow court and finish points. Whereas Alcaraz has enough power to get through Djokovic on any court. It doesn't matter. And he has the power to get through Djokovic and finish points, right? And the fact that on Djokovic's ideal courts, where they both had the power to get through each other's defense, they were close. But now it's so much easier for Alcaraz and harder for Djokovic when they were equal on Djokovic's ideal courts. But now Djokovic has a place that is much less successful, and the slower court's going to work against you. And it's a fact he's not as good. The Australian Open fast hard court 10, Wimbledon 7. He's won 3 here. The fact is he's not as good, but where he's at his best, Alcaraz has already matched him. So for that reason, I say it won't be as equal as Djokovic's ideal conditions, where they were about equal. It'll be more to Alcaraz's advantage. So instead of a 5-set match, it's a 4-set victory for Alcaraz. And the main reason I'm giving you here is Djokovic doesn't have the power to get through this slow court and finish points, but Alcaraz does. And now, because it's a slow court, he has time to set up more on his big motion forehand and really generate the power and get through Djokovic's defense. The only test for Alcaraz on this slow court will be, sometimes he just likes to go for the lines and overpower guys and win in 1 or 2 shots. With the slow court and Djokovic's defense, even though he has the power to get through Djokovic and finish the point, right? Even though he has that, it's still going to require patience. Like you see Nadal on clay and slow courts against Djokovic, he needs to hit 3, 4, 5, 7 forehand with the power and consistency and patience. But then you do have the power to get past him with that big shot, with that big forehand. But it takes some patience. Nadal has that power, the consistency, the patience to overpower Djokovic with the forehand, get through him, but have the patience to wait. If it's 3, 5, 7 shots, still, even though you've got that power because of Djokovic's defense in the slow court, you need the patience. Nadal has that. But Alcaraz has the power to get from him, but still, because it's a slow court and Djokovic is fast, you're not going to be able to get through in 1 shot. So Djokovic is going to say, yes, you have the power to finish the point and get through me, but I'm going to make you wait 3, 5, 7, 8 shots. Does Alcaraz have the patience, or does he have to try to win the point in 1 or 2 shots and go for the lines? If he does and he overhits, he makes errors, he loses. But if he has the patience, like Nadal does, for example, on clay, then Djokovic can't get it through his defense. He can get it through Djokovic's defense. He overpowers Djokovic with the forehand. And just like we saw with, he couldn't get past Medvedev's defense, he can't get past Alcaraz. Like we've seen guys with big power games on slow courts, Djokovic can get overpowered. And I think that's what will happen. I think Alcaraz has already reached a level to match Djokovic on his ideal court. This isn't Djokovic's ideal court, so it won't be as close, but it won't be straight sets either. So I'll say 4 sets for Alcaraz. He's going to overpower him with forehand. On my final preview, right before this match happens, I'll go in more detail on the matchup, and I just focus on not the whole draw, just the final. But for now, I'm saying Carlos Alcaraz will be your 2023 US Open champion, beating Djokovic in 4 sets in the US Open final. So come back and I'm going to give you more up-to-date information. Right before the quarterfinals, I'll know exactly who's in there, how they're playing, and I'll preview those, which will be around next Tuesday. Or not next Tuesday, but Tuesday in 10 days from now. And then sort of on the Thursday, then right before the semi-finals, I'll know who's playing and the exact matchups, how they're playing at that point. I'll give you a better preview of the semi-finals, up to date, who's exactly there, how they've played. Same with the quarterfinals. And then on the Friday, Saturday, just before the final, I'll preview the final. Hopefully it's Djokovic and Alcaraz. And I'll give you up-to-date information after they've both won 6 matches, how they're playing exactly, and I'll go more in depth, and I'll have more knowledge because I'll have the 6 matches leading up to the final. Be easier for me to predict, more knowledge based on watching all these matches, and I'll go more in depth because I'm doing a video just on the final, not the whole tournament. So yeah, be back in about 10 days on a sort of Monday, Tuesday for your quarterfinal preview, and we'll have a semi-final preview, the US Open final preview. But guys, subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Have a great day and night wherever you are in the world. Oh, guys, sorry about that. I was going to, let me quickly do that, review the Cincinnati final. Yeah? So what I was saying was, like, Djokovic, it was one of the greatest matches, three set matches I've ever seen. Alcaraz plays well. Djokovic has a heat stroke. Alcaraz comes back. They go all the way to the last set tiebreak quickly. I just think that like when you look at it, like I said, Djokovic was in better form. He wanted this match more because he lost Wimbledon, the ideal court. Alcaraz wasn't in good form like leading up to this match. And the last set though, but Alcaraz did step up because it's Djokovic. But in the end, the differential in form in favour of Djokovic was too much. He couldn't quite close the gap. They played at an elite level. They both stepped it up on big moments. But at the end, Alcaraz had lots of great shots and spectacular shots, but also lots of errors and just a few too many errors in important moments, which Djokovic didn't make, got him over the line. But they both stepped up, great shots at either side, great level, but just a few too extra many errors, along with the great shots for Alcaraz, which Djokovic didn't make. But again, I went over that ideal court, better form. He's hungry for revenge, so that's how it worked out. So, but yeah, that is my video now. Come back Tuesday, quarterfinal preview. Then I've got a semi-final preview, final preview. I'll know who's there after that information. So subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Be back for my quarterfinal preview. And thanks for being with me. And bye for now. Thanks for being with me, guys. Thanks for watching. Come back in about 9-10 days for my quarterfinal preview. And subscribe, bell notification. Thanks for being with me. And see you guys in about 9 days from now. Bye for now.